Digimon Tamers, this is Cherryz, your resident Luga player, here with a top 4 Nats deck profile for Fenry. Not too much different than most other decks, but I will be talking about why I chose some of these ratios and my Nats experience in general. Um, Starting off with Baumon, being able to discard or Digivolve from a card that was discarded, very good. Ban worthy, limited one, yeah, I love it, but either way, I think the deck could actually still work without it. 4 of the boy himself, Fenriloogamon, being able to cheat out your tamer, being able to gain a memory when another thing is played. That's SOC. Very good card. 2 of this PT-15 Lugamon. Very diverse card. Could kill the floodgates. I want to see the other one more, but love this card anyways. I had a matchup against, I believe it was I think it was Mirage, where they did do the Imperial German Paladin mode, bottom decking all 3 of my Takes. Then they had 2 rookies on field and a level 4, I believe. So with this card, I was able to promote, put the EG under, swing into the Imperial German, discarding 1 to kill a level 3 or lower. Or actually, this kills a 3k or lower, but yes, most level 3s. Discarding the Daruga, digivolving into Daruga. Daruga effective discard, draw 1, going into the Dex. Dex effect, deleting the other level 3. Discarding Solugar, going into the Solugar, discarding both Fenra and Kazuchi, killing off his level 4. Going into the Fenra, because all this because of Baumon. Fenra now brings out the Kazuchi, and I finally Alliance because I did technically swing at the Imperial, clearing his board. Very good card. 3 Ukos. I see people run 2. I could see it being ran at 4, honestly. It searches pretty much your whole deck. You want to find the AGs. If you're promoting Luga, then you could search with this, get an EG, and then you could still tuck it under the other Luga. If you get an Analog Youth, honestly, not a bad card still. Could search all your pieces, including Kazuchi, which is very hard to search in this deck. 4 Darugas. Has collision, so if you really need to swing and like kill one of their floodgates, it can do that for you. It can also taunt. Doesn't come out as often because this deck does kill a lot of things when digivolving into your Take. But against armor specifically, it could help out. It's there mainly to cycle, discard 1 to draw 1. Also giving you 1,000 extra attack for the inheritable. Helps in the mirror. Yeah, mainly the mirror. 3 Dex Darugas. I think 3 is good. This card is essentially the same. If you digivolve straight from Luga, it costs 1 more, but Taka is going to reset you anyways to do the same thing. Discard 1, draw 1. If you're digivolving from Trash or over Daruga, you can kill a Floodgate. Trashing 1 to kill a 4 cost or lower. Also reboot, just in case you can't get the kill off. One of my favorite cards here, Tyrannomon, one of my favorite Digimon in general. Blocker, on play, reveal 4, get 1 SOC, 1 Tamer, and then trash 1. Great card, you want to play it first or with Solugar. If you do it with Solugar and you haven't found your pieces, he can search them. Fenrir, if you find the Fenrir, you can still trash it off this. Baumon doesn't need to be in the stack that trashes in order for it to activate, so you can trash from this to have your Solugar digivolve into the Fenrir. Very solid. Solugar, we are playing a 4 of. This is the Nats art. Probably the best card in the deck, honestly. Everyone wants to go after Balmon. I think if you're gonna hit this deck, this is the card to do. When digivolving, you discard the 2, kill a 6K or less. If you can't do that, which by this time hopefully you won't be doing that, you could bring out a level 4. You want to bring out your Tyranno or your Daruga. So you could alliance later, or even do double Fenrir. All turns. If this card has a Tamer underneath and another one of your SOC traits dies, then this could digivolve into the Fenrir from your trash. I don't see it being used too much. I will say in the mirror, he had hit 1 card from my security, which was the Fenrir. I did not have my pieces. I tried to go for it. Had the Salugar out there, got the Tyranno, nothing. But I left the Tamer under there, hoping that maybe he would go into his decks first, or he would Salugar without going into his, which is what happened. He digivolved, keeping his turn into Daruga. Then he went into the decks, killing my Tyranno. Because he did that, I was able to digivolve into the Fenrir. Fenrir brings out Kazuchi, all during his turn. Fenrir's alternate effect, since I brought out the Kazuchi, I could kill a 10k or less and kill the decks. He wasn't able to recover. His inheritable, of course, at the end of the attack, if your opponent has 1 or more memory, you can unsuspend this. This is how you OTK to begin with. 2 Helugars. Here's the Nats alt art. Again, very solid card. End of your turn, it dies. You draw 2. You can recycle a Lugamon, and on delete, as long as you're trashing 3 SOC or Dark Animal trait Digimon, you can kill a level 6 or less. You don't have to delete anything. You can trash as much as you want. You cannot trash the Kazuchi, unfortunately. But really cool card. Funny story was, I actually went to Salugar trying to search. Couldn't find the Fenrir. And I was going to lose anyway, so I figured why not. I hard dropped the Hellugar. I drew my 2 and found the Fenrir. And from the on deletion, I was able to pitch the Fenrir. So Lugar is now able to use the Baumon to digivolve to it. So I gave my opponent 7. Then I digivolve for 3. And either way, Take is going to reset you. Crazy play, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. 2 Skull Beluchis, you're able to digivolve from trash. It's just mainly if your pieces go into trash, or if they hit security, or if you need to go into another stack. It does have the when digivolving, if digivolving from trash, if it's deleted, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Doesn't matter what level. In my final match against Purple Hybrid, while I still didn't win, it was a really funny reaction from my opponent, who was not expecting it. When he had Death X on the field, I hard dropped Tyranno effect. I put him to 1. With Tyranno effect, I picked up something, then I trashed this, because you can trash anything. This effect activates digivolving Tyranno into it, because you could digivolve into an undead. And because of that, it gained its ability. Death X activates, killing this. This now activates, killing the Death X. Very funny. 4 of the Fenrirs. I've seen people play 3. I don't agree with it. You want to see this, and honestly, you want to see it in trash. During a Mirage matchup, I couldn't find the Kazuchi, but I was able to still clear his board because I went into this Fenrir passing turn, but I brought out another Fenrir, which this can also do. You just don't see it that often, killing a 10k or less. If you're not OTKing, this deck does very well at controlling board. But we know what it does. Brings out the Kazuchi, and then you can go into your Take. the inheritable that you keep turn as long as your opponent is at 2 or less. The big brick here, Kazuchi. You don't want to hard play him, even though against Onion. Congratulations to Onions or Onion on first place, by the way. I hard dropped it against him 3 times during Demon Lord. During the Demon Lord matchup, not the worst card, honestly, to hard drop against Demon Lords. Um, but yeah, end of turn, it could minus 6k something. If you have 3 or more, if you have 3 or less, you can recover 1. Inheritable, when one of your securities removed, either turn, minus AK to a Digimon. Doesn't come out that often, but could come up, especially against armor. You don't want to play it most of the time, obviously. You want Fenrir to pick it up from trash. Take, the legend itself. Not too much to say about it. I mean, it's just an amazing card, being able to digivolve from trash, DNA digivolve from trash, sending your opponent to 3, then gaining a memory. Most likely he's not going to have any mem blockers. If he does, minus 16 that, who cares? When attacking, not once per turn, you can trash 1 security to trash one of your opponents. This guy, as long as you have Solugar, can take 5 security in 1 turn. If you do the chip damage at the beginning, just chip 1, then he can OTK your opponent. Really great card. 3, code Cracker Fang. Very standard. You just want to see the 1 of, but you really want to see it. Just so you can keep getting set to 3. I am running 2 of the other EGs. I kind of wanted to put it at 3, but 5 is standard. Again, I don't want to see too much of this. I want to see the first one. Don't want to see the second or third. I want to see more of this, but again, it's not as great as this. Though I will say, having the 3 cost sometimes comes in handy. If you already have this established, sometimes you could just drop this, and because of your Balmon, you're going to be able to Digivolve all the way to Take anyways. Having a second EG on the field could help you get into your second Take, which is overkill. For analog use, really good card. Just in general, any deck. Lots of shenanigans with Helugar being able to gain memory back and then keep turn and hatch an egg and just restart your turn over for next turn, or getting ready for next turn. Searching all your pieces, trashing what you don't need, trashing the EG, trashing the Take, trashing Kazuchi. Cost 2 as well. Really solid. You need to play 4. Finally, I'm not running Castle. I'm not running the new Man Boost that picks up a yellow and a purple, or the green and a purple. I tried those Man Boosts, didn't like them. They bottomed like your EGs, and honestly, I'd rather see EG than the Kazuchi. I could still win games, as hard as it is, without going into Take, as long as I see EG. If I'm seeing Kazuchi and don't see the Tamer, there's no point. As far as the Castle is concerned, great card. You can argue that it might be better, but for my money, they both cost 3. This one gives you 2 memory. The other one reduces by 2 memory, so essentially the same trade-off there. The other one only lets you search SOCs, which does bottom your Kazuchi. This, on the other hand, you get to trash 2, then draw a card. Drawing a card in this deck, whichever it is, doesn't matter. But trashing the 2, if you trash, again, your Kazuchis, your Takes, your EGs, all good for you. Any of your pieces, also pretty good, as long as you have a Scalbalucci in hand. So for my money, this is better. Top of that, you can gain 2 memory next turn, use another Miss Memory boost, or just try to do some shenanigans. That is it for the deck profile. If I have to talk about Nats, day 1 was insane. First match was against Red Hybrid. I lost. I lost. I thought I had a decent hand. It was Uko, BT14 Luga, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going first. Uh, let's Digivolve in the back for Luga, bring out the Uko. You know, what deck is gonna pop it? Yeah, it was Red Hybrid. They cross-hearted, or what is it called? Hard dropped the Ancient Grey, popping the Uko, and then at that point, all I had was my high end. So um, I did lose that matchup. Then I steamrolled through the rest of the tournament. I faced, I believe it was two armors, two mirages, a Numa, two demon lords. Blanking on the rest here. Oh, I did face the mirror at least once. Um, got 17th place, so good enough for top two. Um, During day two, I started off against Armor, very hard matchup. Um, First, they were able to bring out the Vmon, Magna, and then Awakening in their third or second. I'm sorry, second turn, I believe it was. Um, so I did lose my first game there, but I was able to bring it out or bring it home. The second match I had was against the Mirror, my favorite match of all Nats. He was playing a Lugar base, or his four level fours were the Lugars instead. Um, it's just very fun matchup. We did not see a single Take the first game. We basically just chipped at each other. And then second game, again, we both kind of bricked, but very fun interactions. And eventually I did find the one Take and was able to bring it home. So I appreciate that. I believe your name was Kyle. So I appreciate you, brother, for the matchup. Um, After that, it was Mirage. Um, it's a hard matchup, but I feel very good about it. Just because we can control the field so well, and they have to go into their Mirage, and we can just pop it pretty easily. I know game two he did not find his level 6, and against this deck will just go very fast if you can't find your pieces. So um, finally, in the top four I lost against Onion, and not too much to say about it. It's a hard matchup, Demon Lords, but Onion, he plays it very well. I went against Demon Lords the day before, was able to bring it home, but not against Onion. He is a really good player. That's why he is our current Nats champion. Um, for competing for third place, I did unfortunately lose against Super Duper Roach. Good matchup against Purple Hybrid. I had Game on board for the first one, but I know he runs 4 Jax Raids and 4 Rivals Barrages, and of course my first check of the match before I went into Take was Jax Raid. And then finally, I did go into Take the turn after, I believe it was. So I burned 1 security, swung for 2, and I just got to get through the 2 checks, but the first one was Rivals Barrage. It is the nature of the game, and I understand that his deck does do that. So, but again, nature of the game. Either way, good matchups. The second match was pretty crazy too. So I do appreciate the matchup, brother. That is it. This is my first video, so anything that you guys wanna see in the future or any advice, I would appreciate it. I'm thinking for my next video, just doing a deck profile. EX8 is coming out. I just want to go back to the original Fenrir. This is the Nats top 32. I got a playset of it because I got top 4, which is pretty cool. So I might just build Fenrir again just for fun. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I do want to shout out my boys from NRG. Uh, a lot of names, so I'm not gonna go through them, but I will in the future because I do want to do some content with them. Um, between all of us, we can do pretty much any deck that you guys want to see. So, with all that being said, I appreciate you guys and have an awesome day.